we're going to be working on a kick called a snap kick, all right? Now, if you think of that name, snap kick, you imagine something that's quick, something that's fast, to the point. That's exactly what this kind of kick is doing, okay? It's going to be quick, fast, and to the point. All right, so let's say here I'm in my fighting stance, okay? We're in a basic fighting stance, not like a back stance or anything like that. A good 50% of my weight on one leg, 50% on my other leg. I know you mini ninjas don't know what 50% is, but ask your parents, see if they know and they can explain it to you, okay? We're going to do a nice quick kick, all right? We're going to imagine a lower target here for the sake of our practice, keeping our hands up like this. We're going to do the snap kick in 3 steps. We're going to go 1, 2, and that's where the snap will be, and 3, back to our fighting stance, okay? So 3 steps, 1, 2, and 3, all right? Now, when I hit that target, I'm hitting the target with the ball of my foot. The ball of the foot is like the under part of my toes, okay? So not the top of my toes. I'm not trying to bend my toes the wrong direction. That's not fun, okay? I'm looking to kind of kick with the ball of my foot. That's what it's called. All right, and I want that target to go backwards, okay? If that target is coming up, boom, that's wrong. I'm hitting with the wrong part of my foot. I want to bring my leg up, bam, and get that snap kick going, okay? Now, you can start lower here, all right, when you practice this, but eventually you should be able to get to really, really high snap kicks eventually, all right? So work on that for now, okay? Work on the low ones for now, all right? And remember, 3 steps, right? Hands up, good fighting stance here, nice and balanced. 1, 2, and 3, okay? And try to do it slow like that. If you're going up here and then you start to look like you're on a pogo stick hopping around, work your balance, right? Bend that back leg, front leg a little bit so we're nice and balanced. Boom, snap it out there and put it back, okay? That snap kick is a fast one, it's a useful one, it's a fun one. Have fun with it. Right now we're going to discuss how we can evade strikes from the inside, mostly against like their hooks and things like that. So hooks are these half circular kind of punches, like horizontally speaking, okay? Not circular like that. That's not what we're trying to do, okay? Circular like this, like half circle. My arms traveling like a half circle kind of move, all right? And that's what we're looking to avoid getting hit by in this situation, okay? So we're imagining they're trying to hit us in the head, all right? In this case, we're not going to throw up a block or anything like that, even though we could do covers and counters, all right? But another way we can do it is evade entirely. It's one of the principles of ninjutsu, evasion, right? So what I want you guys to focus on for this initial week is just getting that ducking motion done. Now there's a beginner, basic kind of duck, and then there's an advanced duck, okay? Don't let that confuse you though. Beginners are going to be for like the little ninjas, all right? The advanced duck is going to be for the juniors and the adults, okay? So remember, keep that in mind. The basic duck from right here, for the little ninjas here, if that punch starts to come in head level, we're just going to bend our knees, bring our hands up, and come back up. That's all we're going to do. Doesn't matter what hand they're using or what direction it's coming from. We're just going to duck down, come right back up. Notice my hands are going from here up here, right? I don't want to have my hands go down when I duck. That's not what I want. Okay, we need to ensure we're being protected. Okay, so from right here, hands go up and back up. All right? Not going to worry about any counters yet. Okay? So really basic beginner duck. Bend those knees. Don't do this. We're not bending our back. You want to maintain eye contact with the opponent so you know what they're going to do. Bam! Defend. Okay? Just like that. All right? Now, if we're going to get a little more advanced with it, we're going to try to do a little bit more nuanced movement. Okay? This is for the juniors and the adults. So if that hook is, say, coming on this side of my head, what I want you to do is I want you to get your defense up. Okay? We're going to turn away from that strike, all right, to kind of build a little bit of time into the equation. Away from it, ducking underneath it, and come around and back up. You'll notice that I'm kind of drawing a circle with my head. I always tell the people here in studio, if I have a marker in my mouth, I want you to imagine drawing a circle like that. Okay, that's the general idea. But what I really want you guys to focus on for this particular week is not only making that circular motion, but getting our feet into the equation. And that's going to help you get that circle made. So watch. Let's say I take my hands out of the equation entirely. All right, what I want to do is when this punch starts coming in, all right, I'm just going to move my feet this direction. Notice how my head moves away from that line of fire, like that. I'm pivoting. I'm going to duck. I'm going to pivot underneath that strike, and then come back front, okay? And later we're going to put a counter in here, so we're going to pivot again. But in this case for now, just to make sure we get that basic motion happening, we want to pivot away from the strike, duck under it with a pivot, and come back straight. Okay, whatever side they're coming on, this way or this way. If it's this side, I'm going to duck away from it, okay, go under it, pivot back, all right, and come front. Okay, so I want you to remember that whenever we're pivoting like this, usually we're loading our counter strike, ready to go. Okay, so this is kind of building some time. This is loading up our counter and ducking underneath the strike, and this is where we're going to come back and counter later. But for now, let's just go like this. Hands here, up, down, back. All right, so it's basically 3 pivots. 2 really strong ones, 1 really strong pivot. 2 really strong pivot, and this one I'm not coming all the way over, I'm just coming back to front, so it's kind of like a little half pivot, all right? So you can use those in your count. Count 1, 2, and a half, all right? Think of it that way. Or the other direction, 1, 2, and a half, all right? Sort of like that, okay? But focus on your feet, okay? If your feet are right, your body's going to move naturally correct, okay? I don't want you guys to go like this. That's not what I want you to do, okay? Use your legs and your motion in that equation, okay? And it will help you get a good circular motion going. So let's see what it looks like with an opponent here from a side view. Let's say Sensei Moore is going to throw this hook at me like this. Bam, all right? Beginner duck, I'm just going to go down underneath it, come right back up. Okay, real simple. Notice I'm watching him. I'm not looking at his feet. They are eating knees like that, right? I'm going to go ahead and go straight, duck, back up, ready to fire back, okay? If we're doing the advanced duck, right? Let's say this hand comes in. I'm going to cover and turn away from it, go underneath it, and then reset, okay? This side over here, I'm going to turn away from it, underneath it, and reset, okay? So practice it slow. Practice it in the air. Imagine drawing that circle for the advanced, all right? And for those of you who are doing the beginners, the little ninjas here, down and back up, okay? Really good ducks. Both of them are useful, the beginner and the advanced. So I expect the juniors and the adults to do the beginner one and the advanced one. Okay, but for the little ninjas, do the circle one as a bonus if you want to, okay? But one for your Q test is going to be the beginner duck, okay? All right, good luck with that, guys. We'll be here. Today we are working on a forward roll, guys. It's one of my favorite moves because you can use it in so many applications. Whether you're playing soccer or you trip or get slide tackle or something like that, you can roll and keep going. Whether you're on your bike and you fall off your bike and you roll and instead of hitting on the ground, sliding, skateboarding, whatever, it's a great move to kind of help you get your body coordinated together as well. And this is kind of how we're going to do it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a right shoulder roll. Usually it's easier to roll over the shoulder that you're most dominant with your hand or your foot. So in this case, I'm going to use my right shoulder. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my right foot in front, okay? And I'm going to have it in front of me here, back foot obviously behind me bent. I'm going to make a little triangle with my hand, and I'm going to take it and point it away from me, touch it to the floor, and then I'm going to turn it a little bit to an angle. So the tip of the triangle is kind of pointing that way, okay? I'll do it from the front in a second. What I want you guys to really catch is what my head's going to do, okay? What I'm going to do when I do my rolls, I'm going to try to listen to the floor. Okay, I'm going to turn my head sideways, kind of look back that direction, lower myself down, and then push. And end up in this position again, all right? Just like that. Now what I'm doing is I'm making sure my head's not making contact with the floor. That's the whole idea of protecting your head, right? So in this case, going forward, you can see how that looks. I'm here. Whatever foot is in front, that is the shoulder you're going to roll over. You'll see it's totally wrong when you do the wrong shoulder. Your feet have to kind of switch positions midair. It's not as smooth. All right, so from here, right foot's in front. Right shoulder's going to be going first. Triangle. Triangle down. Angled a little bit. This gets your arm and your shoulder going in front of you. Now the idea is to land on your shoulder, okay, and push yourself forward and end up in the same position. And again, where's my head going? Looking back that way. So for you younger kiddos, you can practice listening to the floor. Get close. My knee's down now, my elbow's down now, I'm listening close. My shoulder's going to touch. And I'm going to push over, okay? Just like that. All right, that's what we want to see. No head contact on the floor, okay? Good hand position, proper foot in front, okay? So when you're running or tripping in some situation, right? Whatever foot's in front, that's the shoulder you're going to tuck to and roll, all right? That's going to help it be a lot more smooth, all right? So for now, I want you guys to start on the ground, all right? Making sure you're in like our ready and waiting position, for example. And hands down, turn a little bit. Remember, look to the side. Shoulder touches, not your head, and end in your roll position. Now, you'll notice when I finish my roll, one little nuance here, or a small detail, all right, is that when I finish my roll, my arm here is not going to come to the outside, okay? It's going to come to the inside of my knee, all right? There's a good reason for that. If my elbow comes this way, okay, my head's going to be between my hands, and I can hit my chin on my knee, all right, if I'm rolling fast or some sort of emergency situation where I'm, just trying to protect myself and I tuck into a roll quickly. I don't want my knee hitting my chin, okay? But if I have my arm here, it kind of acts like a funnel. I can't hit anything, and that's what we want to do. So watch where my elbow ends up. From here, when I tuck into my roll, elbow on the inside of the knee. That's where we want it to be, okay? Just like that, so there's nothing here for you to hit yourself as opposed to that, okay? And trust me, I've seen it happen before. All right, so practice those forward rolls nice and smooth. Good luck with it.